everyone, my name is Holly, and in today's video we are going to be dancing and throwing a freaking party for all of the amazing book birthdays that are happening in 2018. Just in case you were on the verge of getting your TBR under control, well, I am here to ruin your glorious day. So it is finally time for me to trot out a list of 2018 book releases that I am so looking forward to this year, and I would literally sell my kidney to get my clammy paws on these books. Seriously. Or at least my boyfriend's kidney. Sorry, Darren. So there are a ton of really highly anticipated releases this year, and a lot of sequels of books that I haven't read yet, like Warcross, Caraval, Red Queen, and Ember in the Ashes, the next Throne of Glass book, and so many more, but these books are not going to be on my list because I have yet to read the first book. So if there is a sequel that you are super excited about, write it down below in the comments to let others know. And me as well, and that will make me read the first book even faster. Maybe. So I'll be honest, I have about 15 books on this list, so I won't be elaborating on what the plot is too much in this video, but I will more than likely buy all of these books anyways, so you will hear more about them in my book hauls or my wrap-ups and TBRs. Let's go ahead and get started with the first one I'm super excited about, and that is The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert, and this comes out January 30th. Now this is a very atmospheric and dark fairy tale story that follows our main character Alice, who lives with her mother, and also her grandmother is a famous writer who wrote all kinds of very dark fairy tales that take place in the hinterlands. Well, suddenly Alice's mother ends up getting kidnapped, and Alice finds herself in the hinterland, which is the world that her grandmother wrote about, which sounds really interesting and super bizarre, and man, this cover is also super pretty and I can't wait to read it. Up next I have By a Charm and a Curse by Jamie Castell, and this comes out February 6th. Now this one sounds super cool, and it's about our main character who has a very exciting night at a circus and she ends up getting trapped inside, and there she meets all kind of interesting people and carnies, and she also meets a boy with an ice-cursed kiss. This one really reminds me of Caraval and The Night Circus. Both I have not read yet, but anything that deals with the circus, I'm all for. Up next is Honor Among Thieves by Rachel Kane and Anne Arguire. I hope I'm getting that name right. And this comes out February 13th. This is the first book in a new science fiction fantasy series, which is called The Honors. So the story revolves around a street smart girl named Zara, and she is a petty criminal and a thief, and she has completely shunned all alien technology and has chosen to live on the streets until she needs an escape. Lucky for Zara, she is chosen to be recruited into the Honors, which is a race of sentient alien ships, to basically board and explore outer space. Now, oh man, this sounds so cool, and I really hope it's kind of like a journey story, but in space, and they visit like different planets and meet alien life forms and travel a million miles away. Oh, this sounds so good. Please, oh please let it be that way. Up next I have Ink, Iron, and Glass by Gwendolyn Clare, and this comes out February 20th. This is Gwendolyn's fantasy debut, and it is the first book in a steampunk duology. And it's about a mad scientist who can write new words into existence, which sounds pretty freaking cool. And I believe that our main character in the story is written as well to become a character, and this is in the form of what's called magical ink. Like, come on, this sounds pretty magical. This cover is stunning, and I'm all so ready for it. My body is ready. I'm really excited to see what this author has to offer. That rhymed. Up next I have To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo, and this comes out March 6th. So I'm sure you have heard and seen this book literally everywhere. It's being hyped up a ton, but it's basically about a bloodthirsty siren and thieving pirates, which is like, oh, so cool and amazing. Those words are just so delicious. And we're not talking about pretty sparkly mermaids either. These are some dangerous mermaids in this book, apparently. I really hope so. Plus, I cannot wait to see the finished copies This cover is so cool, especially with the octopus holding a dagger. Like, oh, like it just screams dark fantasy to me. The only thing is this cover does give me severe anxiety because I hate the ocean. And this is like in a deep, deep ocean, and man, it gives me the spooks. Up next, I have Restore Me by Tahereh Mafi. And yes, this is book 4 in the Shatter Me series. Yes, we are freaking getting more books about Warner and Juliette. What a time to be alive. If you haven't read the Shatter Me series, I think you should at least give it a try. It's a series that I read a couple of years ago and I actually really loved it. It seems like a very controversial series. You either hate it or you love it, and I'm one of those that loved it. It basically follows our main character Juliette, who lives in a dystopian society, and she has been avoiding touching people because she has the ability to kill them if she touches them, which is super scary. The series is weird, it's kind of all over the place, but I love it, and I'm so excited to delve into the Warner and Juliette shipping. Ship, 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 please. This title I'm probably going to totally butcher, but I am very excited for The Queens of Innis Lear. I don't know. By Tessa Gratton, and this comes out March 27th. This is a standalone adult fantasy story that is a retelling of King Lear, but in the style of Game of Thrones. So I expect a lot of stabby stabby and betrayal in between those pages, which there should be if this is a retelling of King Lear, which is a very tragic story. So I cannot wait to see if this lives up to the hype. Plus there is a crown on the cover. I'm sold. Crown, book cover, done. Up next I have Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody, and this comes out April 10th. This is the same author who wrote Daughter of the Burning City, which I haven't read yet, I know. And this is the first book in her new series called The Shadow Game, which is being compared to Six of Crows, so I expect the characters to be very dark and gritty. So the story follows our main character Enna while she journeys to a place called the City of Sen and search for her mother. I am just so interested in this City of Sen environment. I think this sounds so cool and I'm so ready for it. Up next I have Isle of Blood and Stone by Micaiah Lusher. Ugh, I'm probably butchering it. I'm so sorry. And this also comes out April 10th. Now there isn't a whole lot about this book yet, but it's been on my radar for so long and I wanted to mention it here. It's the first book in a fantasy series about map makers and missing princes, and it's narrated by a boy, which is really rare in YA fantasy these days, and I'm so excited about that. I really want more male protagonists in YA fantasy. Please. Up next I have Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young, and this comes out April 24th. Now this is a standalone fantasy all about Vikings. Yes! I want this book to be brutal and ruthless and violent, and there's a strong, badass female main character. I need this so bad. Up next I have Ash Princess by Laura Sebastian, and this also comes out April 24th. This is another one that I've been eyeing for a really long time, but for some reason I just can't comprehend what it's really about. I know that it sounds pretty tropey. It has a love triangle in it, which, let's be honest, love triangles are kind of iffy, even though one of my all-time favorite series ever revolves around a love triangle, so that's why I tend to give them a chance. And since I am YA fantasy trash, I'm gonna try it out. Up next is a really exciting one, and that is A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas, and this is coming out May 1st. This is one of the 2 series that are like on the top of my most anticipated list. The second one I'll mention here in a second, but I am so excited for this one. So the story bridges the events in A Court of Wings and Ruin and the upcoming spin-off novels for the series. And in this book, we are focusing on the point of views of Rhysand and Feyre by OTP. And also it takes place during the winter solstice apparently. Hallelujah. And there's also rumors of a wedding. Up next, I have Furyborn by Claire Legend, and this comes out May 22nd. This cover, man. This cover was released kind of recently, and I was immediately sold. I wasn't sold at first when the cover wasn't there, but right when the cover was revealed, I dived in head first. So the blurb for this one is really interesting, and it follows two fiercely young independent women who are centuries apart and who hold the power to save the world or doom it. That's all I want to know. That's all I want you to know. And if you want to know more, you can look this up on Goodreads or Amazon. And oh, there's assassins in this as well. Sold. So now we are at the final book, and it's my #1 most anticipated book of the whole entire year, and that is Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson, and this comes out August 7th. The Remnant Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson is my all-time favorite series, and it always will be, because it made me go from absolutely hating to read to loving to read, and that to me is the biggest transition in my life, and that is why I am so excited for this book, because it takes place in the same world as the Remnant Chronicles. It just follows different characters, and our two characters are a thief and an outlaw in this world, and I really hope that this book pays homage to the Remnant Chronicles series, because I need to see my lovely characters again. I'm just so excited for this one, and also this cover, like the prettiest cover I think on this whole list. It is gorgeous, and they did such a good job capturing that magical feel that this whole world has, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. I really wish that I could get an arc of it, but I probably won't. Publishers out there, get me an arc of this, please. So that is it for this list, and I know I only stopped at August, but this video is far too long. I think I will do another list for series later in the year, so I'll probably make a video sometime in the summer for those. But yes, I hope you enjoyed. Tell me down below some of your favorite releases that are coming out this year. Give this video a thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And until we meet again, happy reading.